Good afternoon. My name is Chang. I am a project coordinator here at the Center for Online and Continuing Education. And today we're going to discuss a couple interesting Google tools that hopefully will help you in your lesson content. This is pretty interactive features that they've built in over the last few years. We're going to start with the arts and culture section of this presentation. But very quickly, I just want to discuss again what the Center for Online Continuing Education is. Basically, we are here to um, support faculty in the development of online courses. So when you build a course with our department and our instructional designers, you also get a lot of our media options that are available to you. Finding technology such as this is part of that. So this is one of the things that we discuss with our faculty that work with us to create an online course. So today we're going to talk about Google Arts and Culture. So what is this? This is basically takes the viewer into a place around the world. It can take you to an exhibit, a museum, a cultural location that they have captured and made available online for free. You can also look at paintings and in like really high detail, high close-up magnification as if you were there, or actually even closer than you can probably get in person. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So Google Arts and Culture launched in 2015, and they started with 17 museums in 9 countries. Today they have partnered with over 2,000 cultural institutions. This is a project that started in Google as a part of their 20% policy. At Google, they basically ask that you spend 20% of your time working on a pet project of your interest. And so that came together as people started putting this and working on how to get the viewer into these locations and being able to see artwork that otherwise would be kind of difficult to travel to. So that's how this project started, and they launched a few years back. And like I said, this enabled the viewer to browse works in high detail. And they really just push around a huge camera on wheels around the location. And then to capture an actual work of art, it takes about an hour, and it's multiple images at different exposures to really get as much detail as possible for the viewer. So a lot of technology is also what you might be familiar with in Google Maps, which is Street View. Street View allows you to just have a 360-degree view of space. So this is kind of what they've incorporated for famous landmarks, museums, whatever you can think of, they've been there and they've captured quite a bit. So we're going to start with how can this benefit you? Who's this for? So some of the lesson content that this could supplement is educational courses, history. Obviously, there's tons of institutions that you could incorporate and link out to in your course, as well as visual art. You can study pretty much every art style or work of art. Architecture, like I said, it's Street View. You can get views from around the world, lots of downtown areas or famous buildings. Foreign languages, right? You can go pretty much in any country and capture that and put the student in that situation, in that locale, where signage is all in a different language. The culture kind of really stands out in that sort of situation. Anatomy, I found a few where you were actually able to view different parts of the human body. You can focus on the lungs, the cells. It really goes into a lot of detail, as you'll see later today. Geoscience, obviously, you can get great views of different places, like I said, and in forensics, they actually have some simulations to kind of guide you through what type of aspects of forensics are, and we'll actually visit that through augmented reality. And there's a ton of other solutions here for you that you can probably find that you can include a link into your course here. So let's start with arts and culture. Arts and culture is broken down into places, exhibits, works of art. They also have a new experimental section, which is a lot more interactive, involves music and just interactive pieces for works of art, like doing puzzles or re-imaging or more of getting to know what your style is or what kind of works you would like. So I'm going to start here with places. Let me just switch over. So this is Google Arts and Culture. So we start with lots of different places, museums, and artworks. They have their curated pieces up here at the top. And again, this is artsandculture.google.com. So every day they have something new, and there is an app as well, but you can use this in your browser. It works on all pretty much computer, just the browser itself. And as you scroll down, you'll see more options. You can get the app and view more content on your phone. But yeah, you can keep going and see a lot of this content here. Let's start with places. Like I mentioned, we're gonna check out CERN. So obviously, this is a Street View tour, and this is obviously the particle collider that was in the news a while back when it first debuted. And you can pretty much just take a tour of the event, the location here. And see, you can start from the outside, and it gives you a little bit of information here in this box. And then slowly you can just travel through the different aspects of it. Here I'm dragging the mouse so I can actually view it wherever I want to view it. And look all the way up. I can look behind the space just to see what it looks like on the inside. And there is obviously more information here in the box about which part of this location you're looking at right now. Again, you can pretty much look up in every single direction. And it's pretty extensive. It goes into a lot of places, gives you a lot of information and background. And that's one of them. And as you see, this is very much like you would see in Street View on Google Maps. Same navigation, same controls. You can walk up to something and get to see how things are done, how they're set up. So this is one place. Another place here that I have is a virtual tour of the White House. So there's actually quite a few places within the White House that you can actually explore, and some other buildings around. This is, like I said, curated, so you kind of get your own tour and information on each room in the White House itself. And of course, you can always move rooms. So you don't have to necessarily click to the next slide. You can literally just walk yourself around the room from one place to the other. So there's a lot of detail here that you can browse around, and see the arrow tells you which direction you can go in. And all of these can be directly linked. So you can just share that link with students or anyone you want to view this as well. So now let's go to an exhibit. Let's go to the British Museum in London. Here, it's pretty much, it shows you all of the stories or exhibits, as they call them here, that you can take a look at. Here we can look at this Buddhist art. exhibit that they have right now. And again, it tells you more about it. And here you can actually scroll. So they've scanned a lot of items here, and obviously you can't fit it all on your screen, so you can literally just scroll through. So kind of like you do in a room with Street View, you can do with a work of art. See, they've really magnified a lot of the detail here. And here you can actually zoom into different parts of this. Here you see the overall work. And as you zoom in, you can really see where you are in this painting. Let's go. So now let's go to the MoMA. And once again, you can see all the exhibits that they have available for viewing. And you can actually, once again, go into any work that they have available, same thing. And see, here is the link. You can just copy it there if you want to grab it here as well. So you can share this in a variety of ways. And once again, you can really, they vary, but some of these you can really, really zoom in, and they have like varying levels of detail. This one in particular is pretty impressive. You've seen every brush stroke. Probably a lot more detail than you can probably get close in person, so it's pretty neat. So these are this is pretty much arts and culture in itself. Let me switch back. So you can, like I said, visit a place, an exhibit, or work of art. You can walk around the museum, or you can specifically link directly to one piece that you want to be viewed. So now we have Google Expeditions. It's pretty much the same content, except now it's on a mobile device. So you can use this on a phone, you can use this on a tablet. I believe it's within the last 3 years, is if that device is fairly new, within 3 years old, you're going to be able to run this. And what this is an app that lets you browse and look at artifacts in front of you. So through your device. Items, as again, if you were in the museum, you can go in, take a look, and except here, you can actually do it in higher detail. You can actually put it on your table. So I'm gonna share my screen here. All right. So I'm sharing my screen here, and it's actually, I'm sharing the iPad itself. So as I move, you'll be able to see it. You can do this in WebEx, you can do this in Zoom. It really is treated just like another screen of yours, except this one is a mobile device. So this is the main page of the app. And like you see, it's a lot of the same content that we just saw in arts and culture. And a lot of expeditions here listed. So you can look at, let's say, the respiratory system. Here you want to view it in the 3D space. And so you can see what makes up the lungs, the right lung, the left lung. You can click on it and it'll scroll it over. You can kind of browse, you can zoom in. And then you can actually switch over to another part. So the respiratory system. Let's go to the bronchioles here. And again, just go to the trachea, move this out the way. And just like I'm doing it, you can do it while you're recording a lecture, right? So this is really the same process. You can take, just like when you share your screen for a PowerPoint, you can share your screen when you're browsing an expedition or a tour. So that was a 3D object. So let's go with, let's find something where you can, this dinosaur is always cool. So here they have dinosaurs that you can view in AR, so augmented reality. Here you just point the device to the location where you want the object to show up, tap it, and there's your dinosaur. So you can literally walk around this. You can make it bigger and just look at detail here. And obviously they have a wide variety here for you to look at. You can make them way bigger, or you can make them smaller. And again, you're able to just look around. The one that I like, that was pretty cool, is they actually have a forensics one. So if you want to learn about the different types of forensics, let's put on my desk here. All right. So here on top of my desk is a small crime scene that I can look around in a 3D space. Obviously, I'm just looking through the iPad, and you can really zoom in here, detail, and you can switch over to another scene. So let's look at fingerprints. The simulation of pulling a fingerprint off a piece of glass. And then you have toxicology, very similar. And you have a description as well down here. So here we have entomology, a study of insects. And again, I can move around and look at it from any angle. So there's a lot of different things here. Again, you can look at the modern world, you can look at buildings, you can look at rooftop scenes. It'll put you in the same space and you're just moving your device around, just like you were in the browser. This one is cool because it also, it brings in not just VR, but AR. Here's bring sharks. And of course, if you use this on a phone and you have Google Cardboard, which is the little box that you put your phone in, you can actually hold the phone, just move your head around and look at it without having to drag your mouse or on the tablet itself. A lot of different objects here. You can look at animal relationships and AR. So just move your device around so it detects the surface that you want to put it in. And steps. Has a bit of animation to it. And of course, you can always make this a lot bigger. So that is Expeditions app. And again, it's another free app that you can find. So you have the arts and culture app, and then if you want to do more of the augmented reality objects, you can find them here at the Expeditions app. And then we have the virtual tour creator. So a lot of this technology is available for anyone to create kind of their same 360-degree environment. This is basically, you start off with a 360-degree image. And now, if you don't have a 360-degree camera, you can actually get an app on your phone that allows you to take the image for a 360-degree photo, basically. So you're just taking pictures all around the room, and then you've ended up with a 360-degree image. So once we go into the app, let me switch here. This is Tour Creator. So Google Tour Creator allows you to create your own tour, which is a virtual space. So here I have an old 360-degree photo from our office in Boca, and this is our presenter station. So for someone who's never used this station, you can look around and look at the different items available. And here I've written how someone can use this item, for example. And I've inserted an image to kind of give you a better idea of what that object looks like and how that device can be used. So here is a description of this microphone that's kind of hidden inside this ball, and you can pass it around the audience and they can kind of safely ask the question without breaking the microphone. Overhead projector, and then the computer itself. So one example of what we are currently working on with this technology is the FAU High Imaging Lab. We're going to be capturing all the different devices that make up the lab, and within the hotspots, which is where you click and you see the object, there will be a video with a lab technician describing the process, what this is for, how to use this, and any important information, safety procedures to keep in mind when you're using this item. This is great for introductory, someone who can take a look at this before they actually show up to use this. Another one that I created was in our studio in Boca. And once again, you have your lights, you have your setup, and you can see all the technical aspects to video production. And you can click on this and it just gives you more information. This definitely introduces the different components to someone who will be operating these things and who may not have all the experience of identifying every object and exactly what type of object it is. So this has worked out great for us when we have new staff here. So let's go to creating one. So you have a lot of templates here. You can just create your own you have your own images. Or if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have a 360-degree camera, or there are objects that you want to create a tour of, there's a lot of options for you here. Once again, this is, we'll go into this once Kent jumps into the poly section, but this is basically Google Virtual Tour Creator is what it is called. So you can pretty much create different tours of different items here. So we're going to look at microprocessors, creates a tour, you give a description, and you can start browsing. So here you can quickly add an item, and here you can change the text. You can add an image if you like I showed previously, or you can also add audio if you recorded some audio narration that you want to cover. And you have different scenes down at the bottom. Here we have a timeline, and each timeline has information that pops up here. So we can view the published tour in a second here. And it'll pop up with this information. So let's go ahead and publish. And now you have a link that you can share, which is right here. You just copy and you can post it in your course. And this is what it looks like. You can look at this scene. You can look at the next scene. Just jump from one to the other. You can jump here as well as the content. And when you're done, you can just go to the next one. So same idea here, just different objects placed in a hotspot on top with more information to cover. One of the ones I did really liked that they created was, let me go back here, the human anatomy. This one is really well done. You can introduce skeletal muscles. You can view it. Publish this. Tour. Again, same idea. So this is pretty much a tour in itself that you've created with different types of templated objects. And again, this is free and available to everyone. And you don't necessarily need a 360-degree camera. You can use one of their many templates. And they also have a library that Kent is going to talk about. You go back. So that was Virtual Tour Creator. Again, you can capture your own environment, whether it's a lab or a library with different objects that you want to bring attention to, and add different items or hotspots, as they're called, with more content, more instruction, different items such as that. All right. And so now I'm going to hand it over to Kent, who's going to introduce you to Google Poly.
Thank you, Danny. Hi, everybody. My name is Weihao Chen, or everybody call me Kent. I'm here to show you a place, a service by Google. It's called Google Poly. And this is pretty much a library they created to display a lot of creative 3D VR show, just everything people came up with all the latest technology. If you look at their list, they actually have the tours. This is the tour creator Daniel was talking about. There's a blog that's and tail brush that you can create 3D objects in VR. If you are really into more hands-on creative aspect of content, you can find some really amazing artwork here. Not just artwork, sometimes they can be really practical as well. I saw people have 3D models of lab kits or things like that. So a really cool thing about this is when you are teaching a class with, let's say, Canvas, you can actually put this inside your course. So, for example, I'll do a quick demo. You'll see a code here where you can copy it, and I have a demo page just for just to show you how easy it is. So I come here, paste the code, and save. So you can see how quick you can find an interesting thing on Google Poly and just put it inside your course. And if you have the resource, you can actually create something with your own tools and just upload it, even with different 3D softwares. Um, there are all kinds of options. This is a very good resource for you to just to have a peek of what a future learning could be. And we will be experimenting or implementing a lot of VR or 3D elements for immersive learning experience in our future project, Innovation Hub. We will have more information on that later. Let's see how much time we have. I also want to introduce another interesting website. It's called Biodigital. So this website used to be free, but now they start to charge. The cool thing about this website is it's just like really professional human anatomy resources. Uh, if you come here, let's say I want to create teaching materials about our human brain, you can actually edit this in their studio panel. How you can add chapters, talk about things, add an annotation, and all kinds of options. Let's put two. Let's say um, I have this. I want to show my students for them to explore human brain. I can put in my content here, title, description. Hello, meet my brain. Just save it. And same with the Google Poly. You can also embed this into a course, which is amazing. But they only have partial free materials on the website right now. But I think the full subscription is like $5 per month. If you think that's worth it to explore, let me show you how it can be embedded. So let's do the thing. You can see how smooth it is just to add new learning materials to your course. So the course is so much digitalized right now. You see what I have put in there. You can actually check inside the course, and it's totally interactive. So Google Poly and Biodigital, two cool things you can take a look.
All right, I see Rosemary's question. So you can. This actually is available for educational use. So they actually have programs, Google does, where you can kind of incorporate more of this into your curriculum. They actually even offer trainings. A lot of it is K through 12, but they also have higher educational training for using their software in your course. So this is available for you to share with your students. As far as sharing this in WebEx, this is pretty much just like Zoom. You're sharing your screen, except it's instead of a screen, it's your object itself. So if you have an iPad, for example, you share this in your your WebEx meeting or your Zoom meeting. You'll see there on the panel, it just gives you an option for that item, and it becomes another screen of yours, and you can actually write directly on this or navigate, show off anything on your tablet. As far as sharing arts and culture on Canvas, you can share the direct link to the item. So you can either do the presentation itself, or as you're going through it, you can actually copy that page itself. So a specific work of art, a specific section of the White House, um, you can actually grab the link there as well. This, along with a lot of other professional development webinars, are available on our YouTube page if you missed it today or you want to watch it again. You can reach out with us if you have any questions about putting some of this stuff in your course. Absolutely. There is another functionality that we've used in a couple of courses that we've developed here at the Center for Online Continuing Education. Right now, mainly it's been our chemistry courses, right? So you can actually record in 360, you can record we recorded the instructor doing a chemistry experiment, but you can have pop-up interactive questions or like short quizzes that come up. And then depending on what the answer is, you can show either a video explaining what was right or what was wrong, or just information on continuing to try again or going to the next question. So this actually, depending on what they answer, the scores actually go back into Canvas. So that's a program that we use called Scenario VR. And we've used that for a couple of our online courses that we've developed. I see Abigail says a lab manual has used expeditions. So lots of different opportunities to use this technology, and it's growing. As you saw, they started with only 17 institutions in 2015, and then it just grew very quickly. So lots of content and probably more to come.
I'm going to thank everyone for joining us. And Denny, you have opened our mind to a whole new world of possibilities there for us. Now I'm trying to figure out different places I can use all of this. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Denny and Kent, for sharing your worlds of wisdom with us. Thank you so much.
No problem.